Hey, I'm King Kai, and I'm gonna tell you guys about the androids. I can't wear this hat though because it is really hot out here. Picking up where we left off last time, everybody just got back on Earth, except for Goku, he's still making his way. Everyone else is on Earth though, including Vegeta, he lives at Bulma's house. Everyone on Earth sense Frieza's energy headed toward the planet. Yeah, that's right, Frieza, the big bad that died last episode. All the fighters gather up, Frieza's ship shows up, lands, and out comes Frieza's dad, a whole army of space soldiers, and Frieza, who's a cyborg now. Before any of the fighters can do anything, a purple-haired teenager shows up and challenges Frieza to a fight. He quickly kills all the soldiers and goes Super Saiyan. He then proceeds to cut Frieza's body into a bunch of little pieces and then blasts them all to disintegrate them. Frieza's actually dead now. So the kid kills Frieza's dad and then turns to our group of fighters and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm waiting for Goku to land. He's gonna land in like about an hour, so let's all wait together." They all follow him and ask him who he is and how he went Super Saiyan, and he's just like, "Listen man, I'm here to talk to Goku, so I'm not gonna answer any of your questions, okay?"
Alright, new kid, here's some fruit snacks, but don't tell your mom I gave them to you.
Well, why is that?
Because they're my special fruit snacks. I got them from my dad's nightstand. They have a special danger warning on them, but I think that just makes them extra good.
Whoa, dangerous fruit snacks? That's actually pretty cool, and you're just gonna give these to me for free? I mean, that's pretty nice.
Listen, no givesies. We need to do a tradesies. If you can't give me anything, then I'm gonna have to take you back, and then beat up you and your younger brother. Got it? You'll be enslaved to me forever, and ever. In this elementary school, I'm the king. So you better fucking watch your back, okay?
Oh, please stay away from my little brother. I don't really have anything to trade you with, though.
Well,
maybe we can come up with some other sort of deal? Maybe you could just, maybe I could ask my mom for something, though.
oh, I didn't know your family was poor.
Oh!
So they wait 2 hours for Goku to show up. He lands. He gets out of his spaceship, sees all of his friends, and sees a complete stranger, so naturally he goes to talk to the complete stranger first. And he's like, "Hey man, I heard you were the top dog around here. My name's Trunks, I'm from the future, and I'm a Super Saiyan just like you. Oh, also, the apocalypse is coming." Wait, hold on, I thought Vegeta and I were the only 2 Saiyans alive. Well, 3 if you count Gohan. Vegeta? Yeah, that's my dad. Holy shit. Okay, now about the apocalypse? Oh right, 3 years from now, 2 androids are gonna show up and kill everybody. Oh, that's all? I'll just beat them up. Sorry man, you die of a heart virus before the fight even starts. And then the androids kill everyone. But don't worry, I have some heart medicine for you. So just take this, train for 3 years, and then kill the androids when they show up. I'll be back in 3 years too, just to help out however I can. Cool? Cool. See ya. Goku goes back to his friends and tries to give them a summary of what's going on, but he can't really, he's not very good with words, you know? But luckily Piccolo heard everything and he tells the gang about the androids and the 3 years thing, so we're all cool. Also, Goku made a pit stop on his way home and he learned how to teleport. I guess that's why it took him so long. Bulma chimes in and she's like, "Wait, if we know what's gonna happen, why don't we just go kill the scientist before he can even make the androids?" Everyone's like, "No," and then they all go train. 3 years goes by and all the fighters meet up on the island that the androids are gonna appear on. Bulma's there and she has a baby with purple hair. I wonder who that could be. They try and find the androids, but they can't really find them. The androids show up and kill Yamcha though. And somehow he actually isn't dead from this. They just give him a sensu bean and the hole in his stomach is healed right up. This scientist specifically wants to kill Goku, by the way, because in the original Dragon Ball, he destroyed the army that he worked for, and I guess he's pretty petty about it. So the scientist turned himself into android somehow, and he also built a second one to be his partner, Android 19 and Dr. Gero. Goku starts to fight 19, but he pretty quickly falls to the ground from his heart virus kicking in. They airlift him out of there so they can give him his future medicine. But we're not fucked because Vegeta shows up and he has figured out how to go Super Saiyan. So Vegeta asks Android 19 if it's capable of feeling fear, and then he kills it. So, yeah, I guess. Jiro's fearing for his safety now because he miscalculated how powerful they'd be, so he goes back to his lab, the gang follows him, and then Trunks shows up from the future. At the lab, Jiro awakens 2 more androids for backup, androids 17 and 18. These 2 were twins, kidnapped and experimented on and modified with robotic enhancements. These are the 2 androids that Trunks is familiar with in his time. 17 and 18 see another android and activate him. They kill Dr. Jiro before they do it because he was protesting about it. This new guy's android 16. Also, I guess now is as good a time as any to address this. Androids 17 and 18 aren't androids, they're cyborgs because they're humans with robotic enhancements. Android 16 is a robot, so I'm pretty sure he's just an android. Android 19 was just a robot, so he's an android. Android 20, aka Dr. Jiro, is also a cyborg. So we have 3 cyborgs and 2 androids? I don't know. In the sub, they call them artificial humans, but I'm just gonna call them androids. Trunks blows up the lab, and Vegeta challenges the androids to a fight. 18 tells 16 to go for it, and he's like, no. So 18 takes the first match against Vegeta, and she breaks his arm. 17 and 18 take out the rest of the group, 18 kisses Krillin, and then they find a van and leave to go find Goku. Krillin hands out sensu beans, and then the gang moves Goku from his house to Roshi's island to hide him. Piccolo's feeling pretty weak, so he goes to Kami's lookout, and he's like, hey man, we should fuse back together and become one. So they do that. He has a big power spike now, but this also means that the Dragon Balls are gone. Again. After that, Piccolo flies off to face a new monster that showed up in a city. This new guy's name is Cell. He's a weird, bug-looking guy. He was created by Dr. Jiro. He goes around, like, piercing people with his tail and then sucking out all of, like, the life out of them to get stronger. And that's kind of his whole shtick. So I guess when Dr. Jiro was creating him, he was making him with the DNA of the different Z fighters, you know, Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, and then Frieza for the time he was on Earth when Trunks was fighting him. So Cell has all of these different genetics inside of him. Cell's from a different timeline. He killed Trunks and stole his time machine so that he could come to this timeline because Android 17 and 18 don't exist in his, and he needs to absorb them to reach his perfect form. Cell and Piccolo fight for a little while, and then Cell uses the solar flare to escape and absorb more people to get stronger. With all of this new multiverse knowledge, Krillin and Trunks go to Dr. Jiro's basement and blow up the little baby Cell that's growing in their timeline just to cover their bases.
Whoa, stop casting the spell. I think it actually worked. He's asleep.
Oh,
That teacher's so old and decrepit, he has to sit in a frickin' tube to stay alive. These aren't the test answers.
hey man, we gotta hurry before it wakes up. That's not gonna last long.
I know, but these aren't the test answers. I can't find them.
What else could possibly be there? What? What's going on? What do you see?
I stumbled across something when I was shuffling through the papers, and it looks like a Playboy magazine. I've never seen anything like this.
Oh, Playboy? That's the nudie mags. Can I take a look? Hold on, I got small legs.
There's piercings where I didn't think piercings could be. No, this is for me, dude.
Come on, let me see.
I don't know if I could show you this, dude.
Come on. That's a 2-page spread. Let me see it. Come on.
Goku's medicine finally kicks in. He teleports to Gohan. He's like, hey man, come with me. And then they teleport to Vegeta and Trunks. And Goku tells Vegeta that he knows about a room that if you go inside, you can spend a whole year and only one day will pass on the outside. So they're gonna use it to train to fight Cell and the androids. Goku teleports them all to the lookout. Only 2 are allowed in at a time, so Trunks and Vegeta go first. Meanwhile, the androids finally show up at Roshi's place. Piccolo decides to take on Android 17, and honestly, it's a pretty cool fight, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, Cell shows up on the scene, fucks up Piccolo, and throws his body in the ocean. Cell's charging for 17, but 16 stands in the way and protects him. So they're fighting, but 17 gets distracted by the fight, and Cell is able to sneak up on him and absorb him, reaching a higher power level, halfway to his perfect form. Tien is feeling pretty desperate on the sidelines, so he jumps into the fight, puts all of his energy into an attack to give 16 and 18 enough time to hide and escape. Cell's about to kill Tien, but Goku teleports in, grabs Tien's body, teleports to Piccolo, grabs his body, and teleports them both to the lookout. So now Cell's alone, frantically looking for Android 18. On the lookout, Krillin gives the fighters sensu beans, and Trunks and Vegeta finish their day of training. They head straight for Cell while Goku and Gohan make their way into the chamber. During all the conflict, Bulma's at her house researching the android blueprints they found at the lab earlier, and she realizes that there's a bomb in all of the androids, so she's able to kind of create a remote to trigger the bomb in Android 18, thus preventing Cell from achieving a perfect form. Krillin takes the remote to the battlefield and he's gonna follow through with the plan, but he remembers that Android 18 kissed him and that she's cute, so instead he breaks the remote. Vegeta shows up on the scene and beats the shit out of Cell with his new power. Cell's whining about how, if he was in his perfect form, no one would be able to stand a chance against him. He'd be the strongest fighter in the universe. And honestly, this strikes a chord with Vegeta, so he's like, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and absorb 18, and then I'll beat you down in your perfect form. And then I'll show you who really is the strongest. Cell flies off to try and find the androids, but Trunks stands in their way because he's the only one with common sense around here, I guess. He starts to fight Cell, but Vegeta interferes and starts fighting his son. Cell's able to find 18, and he blinds everyone with a solar flare in order to absorb her with no interruptions, and he reaches his perfect form. Trunks and Krillin go to attack him, but it does absolutely nothing to them. In fact, Cell kicks Krillin and it almost kills him. But don't worry, Trunks gave him a sensu bean, he's fine. Vegeta's looking forward to his new powerful opponent, and he challenges him to a fight. So they're sparring, Cell's toying with him for a little bit at first, but ultimately he fucking kicks his ass. Vegeta pulls himself off of the ground, flies in the air, and puts all of his energy into attack, which he calls a final flash, which hits Cell dead on, and it actually, tears off a good, chunk of his body. But Cell's able to regenerate back to normal because of Piccolo's DNA that he has inside of him. Anyways, Cell assaults Vegeta, and he passes out. Trunks gets mad, powers up, gets super bulky, and he goes to fight Cell. And Cell's like, wow, Trunks, you really are super powerful now. You're even more physically strong than me. But you still just don't stand a chance against me, huh? Trunks is confused, but goes to attack him anyway, and he can't land a single punch because his bulky muscles have slowed him down way too much to land a hit. Cell's even kind of taunting him for a while, and Trunks just gets pretty bummed out, so he powers down and just accepts defeat. But instead of killing Trunks, Cell decides to plan a martial arts tournament. He's like, keep your eye on the news, buddy. You'll find the details there. And he flies off to build an arena. Later on, Cell takes over a TV studio and broadcasts over the world about the Cell games and what the rules are. The rules aren't anything fancy, it's just one-on-one fights, and Cell doesn't get to heal. Oh, and if no one can beat him, then he's gonna blow up the planet. Tournament starts in 9 days. After all of that nonsense, Goku and Gohan finally exit the hyperbolic time chamber. I don't know if I've said its name yet, but that was its name. They both walk out and they're living their daily lives in Super Saiyan form. They decided to do this because they noticed in their training how much the form drains their energy, so they wanted to just stay Super Saiyan all the time so that it wouldn't drain their energy anymore. While they were training, Gohan learned how to go Super Saiyan, by the way. Piccolo, Vegeta, and Trunks are planning out a schedule for who gets to use the time chamber next. Piccolo tells Goku that he and Gohan can have one more shot in the chamber before the tournament begins. But Goku's like, no, you know what? I think I'd rather go fishing with Krillin. So Goku and Gohan spend the next 9 days before the tournament just kind of like hanging out. Bulma fixes up Android 16 and takes the bomb out of his body. Like a day or two before the games start, Goku teleports to New Namek and kidnaps Dende so that he can create a new set of Dragon Balls and be the new guardian of the Earth.
Oh my lord, look, it's the Eurovision competition, walking right towards us. And with that vest on. Where did you get that vest, sir?
It was a prize for winning last season. You should be jealous.
I only wish that I could compete myself to have a jacket like that.
Well, put it there, Fashion Master Disaster.
What did you say? You don't have an accent. I cannot accept you. Drop out of the competition.
That's what I get for trying to trust an Eastern European to keep it civil.
It's game day. The first opponent is Satan. Mr. Satan. Just think anime Hulk Hogan. He's the current world martial arts champion, but he doesn't do anything super important here. I just kind of have to bring him up because he's important in the next saga. The next challenger is Goku, and honestly, Cell vs. Goku is one of the coolest fights in the show. I'm just gonna sit here for a second and ramble for a second so you can watch what's going on behind me. Just look at it, it's so fluid and smooth. This animation's going nuts, like, I don't know. I could watch this fight all day. Look up this fight, look up Cell vs. Goku. Anyways, Goku blasts off Cell's head with a Kamehameha, Cell regenerates it, and then Goku gives up. And all of his buddies watching the fight are like, hey Goku, you know you're the strongest person on the planet, right? You can't give up. That's not true. We still have Gohan. You're kidding. Nah, man, that kid's stronger than me. Dad, what are you talking about? I thought you were still holding back. Nah, little guy. I don't know about Cell, but I was giving it my all. You were probably just comparing it to your own power. Okay, I guess I'll trust you. Gohan steps up to fight Cell, but before they can start their match, Goku takes a sensu bean and throws it to Cell, because it's only the fair thing to do. Talk about the stupidest mistakes in anime. Just go to the Cell Saga. They fight for a little while, and Gohan's like, hey Cell, I think you should give up now. Because when I get mad, I get really, really strong. And I think that's what my dad's counting on. But instead of a threat, Cell took that as a challenge and made it his mission to piss off Gohan. He steals the bag of sensu beans from Goku. He destroys Android 16's body, leaving just his head left on the ground. And then he creates 7 small blue versions of himself, all with a similar power to him. He calls them Cell Juniors, and there's one for each of Gohan's friends to fight. But apparently, even watching all of his friends and family getting tortured in front of him isn't enough to make him angry. Mr. Satan takes Android 16's head and tosses it into the battlefield at 16's request. And 16 tells Gohan that he needs to stop being a little bitch and to let his anger out, and it's okay to fight for the things that you love.
And then, with a swift and fatal step, 16's head was crushed before Gohan's eyes.
This finally being enough for Gohan to lose his temper and ascend beyond Super Saiyan. I don't know, in my opinion, this is the coolest transformation in this show. I'm looking at you, Super Saiyan 3 fans. Super Saiyan 2 is where it's at. Gohan takes the sensu beans back from Cell and kills all of the Cell Juniors without breaking a sweat. While the fight continues, Trunks hands out sensu beans to all the nearly dead fighters. Cell powers up even more, and it means absolutely nothing to Gohan, because Gohan's OP right now, which makes Cell start to panic because he's getting his shit beat in by an 11-year-old. He tries to blow up the planet with a supercharged Kamehameha, but Gohan fires his own Kamehameha, and it's just stronger. Gohan gut punches Cell, and he pukes up Android 18. This also reverting him to his previous form. Everyone on the sideline is yelling for Gohan to just kill Cell and finally end it, because now he stands absolutely no chance. But Gohan's like, no, I think I need to fuck him up a little more, and we can add this to the list of mistakes, because Cell balloons up his whole body with energy, and now Gohan's fucked because even if he attacks him, then that'll just set off the bomb prematurely. I really don't know where Cell got this technique, because all of his other techniques are from people he has DNA of, and I don't know who has the ability to do that, but anyways, Goku teleports in front of Cell, and he's like, good job, kiddo, but I'll always be here to bail you out. And then he teleports them both to King Kai's planet, where Cell explodes, killing King Kai, the monkey, the cricket, Goku, and Cell. The gang grieves over Goku's sacrifice, but not for long, because Cell's not actually dead, and he kills Trunks.
Shot to the heart, and you're too late, darling, you give love a bad name.
He's also in his perfect form again. How? Well, I'm just gonna let him explain it to you.
One living cell survived, and that is all I needed for my regeneration. Soon that single living cell began to multiply into many. It wasn't long before I became conscious of my transformation. I could feel every part of my body growing. That is when I realized that each of my cells must hold a memory of my former self. And to my great delight, I had returned with my complete power intact!
Vegeta chooses his son's death as the time to start giving a shit about him, so he charges at Cell full of rage. But he's not strong enough and doesn't accomplish a single thing with that. In fact, Gohan had to step in and protect him, which injures his arm, so he's just like fucking shit up even more, man. Cell charges up another Kamehameha at full power, so Gohan does the same with his one good arm left. And this collision of blasts is how the battle is gonna be decided. They're honestly pretty evenly matched for a while, but Vegeta's able to put all of his energy into a blast at Cell, which distracts him for just long enough for Gohan to get the upper hand. He pushes his Kamehameha forward and disintegrates Cell's entire body. Every last cell, he's dead.
You nuked your whole entire operation for what exactly?
Listen, it had to be done, Stu.
Did it have to be done really, though?
Yeah, look at my face. It used to have nothing on it. Now it has a really sick mustache. Look at my hair. It used to not be there. Now I got a sick fucking fro. I love my hair. It's so good. Now I can even get it cut.
Why didn't you just get a hair transplant in Bangladesh like everyone else?
I tried Rogaine. It doesn't fucking work. I had to praise Satan to get this.
I love you, Satan! Woo, yeah. The fighters go back up to the lookout to get healed up and also do their post-fight wish-making. They summon the dragon and wish for everyone who was killed by Cell to be brought back to life. And then they try to use their second wish to bring Goku back to life. But Goku's like, hey guys, I think I'd rather just stay dead. Have you noticed that everyone who's attacked the Earth so far only did it because I was there? So I think I should just not be there anymore. So instead, for the second wish, they ask for the androids to be made human again, and Shenron's like, that's too complicated. So they just wish that the bombs inside of them don't exist anymore. Trunks goes back to the future, he kills 17 and 18 and Cell of his timeline, and back in our own universe, Vegeta is super upset that he won't have the chance to prove himself against Goku anymore.
I am no warrior, and I will never fight again.
But yeah, that's it. The world's saved. Gohan is Earth's new protector, and we only have one more saga to go in Dragon Ball Z.
Next
time on Dragon Ball Z.